Everybody wants to talk about what's next for Terence Crawford. Listen, who cares what's next? The bottom line is, Terence Crawford is no kidding. I mean, he's a true undisputed champion. Matter of fact, two-time undisputed. And in my opinion, although I just don't think things are going to go the direction he deserves, but he stands alone at the top of boxing. You know, I just really feel Terence Crawford, when you look at everyone across all weight divisions, he's just standing alone at the top, man. And, you know, forget my opinion. It's the opinion of everyone. Even Canelo has high praise for him. But when Crawford starts talking about fighting Canelo, and then all of a sudden Canelo wants to sit there and, you know, and he didn't dismiss him, but I just think Canelo realizes, hey, there's someone here who does not have a country behind him, who does not have the kind of followers who are going to come and pay their money for pay-per-view events. But if this individual had that, then I'd be back selling ice cream. And I truly believe that, man. And I'm not just saying that. I sat back, man, and I kind of did the knowledge on all this. I just really try to understand where Terence Crawford came from 135, 140, 147, who he fought, how he became undisputed at 140, who he was trying to fight, the fights he wasn't able to get, the promoter he had. You're talking about, check this out, right? Terence Crawford, Bob Arum had Manny Pacquiao over there on Top Rank, right? I'll ask y'all this. Why didn't Bob Arum let Terence Crawford fight Manny Pacquiao? Okay, that's all I'm saying. You know, you got two of the best guys at 147 in the whole world, right? In the whole world. You have two of, maybe the two best fighters at that time. And you're not going to give that fight to Crawford? Worried about Crawford killing Pacquiao? I mean, at the time when all that was going on, I remember thinking to myself, I can understand Bob Arum not wanting to do that because, you know, Pacquiao's getting older. But now that I sit back and look at how everything played out, I'm like, hold on a second. This man wasn't trying to help Terence Crawford. He blackballed him. He was crapping on Crawford, man. Now, when you sit back and look at it, like, and really start to understand it, man, it pisses me off, you know. I do a lot of videos on this channel. Remember, I don't have a favorite, so I may do a video about Terence Crawford today, saying how he's a true undisputed champion. I may come tomorrow and say, hey, you know, Terence Crawford in deep with Boots Ennis. Doesn't mean that I think Boots Ennis will beat Terence Crawford. I mean, we just have conversations. But what I'm talking about here is real talk. Like, this is horrible. Could you imagine? It's like having a parent playing favorites. You know what I'm saying? And it's one thing when you're a little kid. You're like a year old and you got a brother who's 2 or 3. You're a year old. You don't know what the hell. You know, hey, they may go buy the other one, a little Matchbox car, and give you the goddamn empty roll of toilet paper. Give you the little roll. And you happy with that because you don't know better, but you don't realize at 1 year old that they wouldn't spend a couple of dollars to get a Matchbox car for your older brother. You sitting there just rolling around on the ground with this goddamn the damn tissue roll. But as you get older, I mean, you can comprehend. And you can feel things. You know when something's not right. And then you can start to see. Once you can understand, you're like, hold on now. I'm 13. This MF is 15. Y'all buying him Matchbox cars and y'all wait till everybody's wiped their ass, and now you give me the empty roll of this little piece of the roll of toilet paper, man. You give me this little cardboard little piece of thing here, and you giving him the matchbox. Come on now, mom and dad, I'm 13. Y'all gotta stop doing this. That'll make a kid feel a kind of way. And now, once you're an adult, and now you're talking about somebody who's saying, nah, we're not gonna give you the chance to really get your foot into the Hall of Fame and make gazillions of dollars because we just feel like you may kill this guy and we don't want to do that to him. Isn't this boxing? No matter who a fighter gets in the ring with, there's a chance of them getting hurt. All of a sudden, you care about Pacquiao? Come on, man. It's because they didn't want to help Terence Crawford. And that's the reality. How many champions have gone through that, right? And hung in there and remained reticent. It ended up on the top of the sport of boxing. Especially when you look at this man going on to become the first male boxer to hold all four major titles in 2 different weight classes. The bottom line is what's next for him. Like, that's what we really need to understand. Because he's going to have to step in the ring a few more times. According to him, that's what he wants to do. But who is he going to have behind him? Who is this true champion going to have behind him? Making sure when he gets in the ring, he gets a quality opponent and he gets a deal to where the true undisputed champion that he is, that's persevered through all the bull crap, gets the gazillions of dollars that he deserves. That's all I'm saying. You got to understand, he picked up that WBO strap, right? 2018. And, he just kept plodding along, getting the fights that he could get. And then he had mandatories, where some people think that he was ducking some fighters, but he had mandatories he had to fight. And he just kept plugging along. And he ended up finally getting the opportunity to fight Spence in what I call a 3-for-1 deal. You get an additional 3 belts for one fight. And he did that. Talking about just a systematic breakdown of Earl Spence and getting the TKO. And I just think for me, that fight, it was more than just, okay, I beat Earl Spence, I'm undisputed. That he didn't just TKO Earl Spence in the 9th round. Terence Crawford TKO'd boxing fans. He TKO'd professional boxers. He TKO'd the secret society. Matter of fact, he may have some of them on his side, so let me not include the secret society. He TKO'd promoters. He TKO'd key decision makers behind the scenes who didn't want to see him make it to the top. This man TKO'd a lot of the injustices and the overall corruption in the sport of boxing. And he managed to emerge to the top. And the thing is to see if Demetrius Andre can do that when he gets ready to fight David Benavidez, but this video is not about that. Matter of fact, I think excuse me, I got a cold. If Demetrius Andre can do something like Crawford and come and get a huge win when no one thinks he can win or he's not getting the credit he deserves, I think Demetrius Andre, although he won't be undisputed by beating David Benavidez, he'll be kind of in the same situation as Terence Crawford. To where it's like, whoa, now you got a true champion here. But that being said, let's see what's going to happen with Crawford now. What is he, 40? 40 wins, 31 knockouts? And you're talking about an emphatic win that he got over Earl Spence. Crawford is everywhere now. You can even see when he moves. He moves with a kind of energy. People get out the way when he comes through now. It's not because they're afraid of him. It's a respect. What did Mike Tyson say? When you're a champion, people should run towards you, right? You shouldn't be afraid. When you go out in public, people should run towards you. And that's why Mike Tyson was ridiculing Floyd Mayweather. Because he said Floyd Mayweather is afraid, a scared little man. That's why he has all the security. But nonetheless, Terence Crawford is a guy, when he walks out, people gravitate towards him. Because he's just a normal guy, man. a normal guy, blue collar work ethic, and it got him to where he is. And at the end of the day, when you start really peeling the layers back to understand him, you will see that there's so much more to this man. The amount of time that he spends, not just with his own kids, because, I don't think any man should be applauded for spending time with his kids. Like that comes with the territory. Like you don't deserve a gold star because you love your kids or you do things with your kids. It's what the hell you're supposed to do. Some people out there who want to give a man a gold star for spending time with his kids, it's probably because they didn't grow up with a father who spent that kind of time with him. So when they see that happening, it's kind of like, oh, I wish I had that. Or it's some female who's like, I wish I had a man in my child's life like that. Nah, but that's just my own opinion. I'm not slamming nobody or saying they're wrong. I'm just telling you for me. And maybe because that's the way I grew up, you know what I'm saying? It's what I saw, what I know, so I do what I know. I have 4 sons. And I'm always there with those guys, always have been. And people tell me that all the time. Oh, you're such a great father. I'm like, I'm just a father. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here. Don't give me an attaboy because I'm taking care of these kids who didn't ask to be here. You crazy? But anyway, when you look at Terence Crawford on paper, it doesn't matter how evenly matched you think a fight is, like Crawford and Boots Ennis. There's just something different about this guy, man. And when you look at, I would say, when you took a look at Crawford, like I'm gonna point something out, a fight people don't really talk about. When he was fighting Hayden Lundy, right? There's a whole lot of craziness. Crawford ended up shoving him. But when they got in the ring that night, Crawford was trying to get at him in the early rounds, first 3 rounds. But Hayden Lundy was catching Crawford. He was catching Crawford, getting the best of them exchanges. And I was very surprised. But, Crawford was fighting angry. But I noticed something in that fight. It's like, at some point in time, Crawford makes little adjustments. And it's not just a matter of him going into the telephone booth and turning into Southpaw Man. At some point in time in the fight, something happens. And all of a sudden, the opponent, who may have been experiencing some kind of success, it's like things start unraveling for them. And it makes me wonder. Like, I ain't lying. I wouldn't mind sparring Terence Crawford. Just to see what is it these fighters are experiencing when this man touches them. Because fights change immediately. That's the fight where I really said, okay, damn, what's going on with this guy? People talk about Gamboa. I'm not talking about that fight, right? Whatever with Gamboa. But then it was, watching the Jose Benavidez fight. Jose Benavidez was giving, Crawford respected Jose Benavidez because he wasn't just trying to go in at him. And Crawford was getting touched up more than what some people expected, especially with Jose Benavidez with that bad leg. But when Crawford started touching him, good things started happening for Crawford, bad things for Jose Benavidez. And then he started fight with Mean Machine. Now, I'm going to be real. Look, first of all, this is not a secret. Mean Machine hits hard as hell. He's a tough fighter. Those short, crisp shots, anyone he fights, he's going to destroy you. That's why he has such a respectable record. He's going to destroy you. He damn near got Virgil Ortiz out the ring, but Virgil Ortiz is a monster too. You understand? I mean, these guys are killers. But when Crawford was able to respond to the calling, and what he was able to do in that fight, I was watching that saying, damn, this man must have some serious ass iron, stone. He must be the reincarnated Roberto Duran of the 2000s, because when he was hitting Mean Machine, the fight, immediately the tempo changed big time, and you saw what happened in that fight. So when he got in there with Earl Spence, that's why I called it. I said, this man's a true champion. Earl Spence, just stylistically, because I studied the way Crawford, when he gets in the ring, his ability to kind of make assessments and adjustments and start to break people down. Especially when he becomes Southpaw man. And that's why I was surprised to see how many people were just saying Earl Spence was going to just destroy Crawford. I'm like, how? Shit, I'm like, Earl Spence against Virgil Ortiz? I used to say all the time, I think Virgil Ortiz would take Earl Spence. It'll be a great fight, but I think Virgil Ortiz would take him. It's something, like Virgil Ortiz, I feel bad he has the he had the health issues. Hopefully he's beyond that, but he's another one. I'm going to tell y'all right now, Virgil Ortiz is another one. Something about Virgil Ortiz. When he gets in that ring, he has that quality Crawford has. Let me tell you, out of everyone out there at 147 and 154, Virgil Ortiz is the one, in my opinion, that will give Crawford a run for his money. I'm just being honest with you. That high guard, power punching, no matter what Crawford does to him, he is like Crawford. Once you hit him, he levels up. Crawford's the same way. He elevates himself. I truly think that's the fight that's the fighter that will give Crawford the biggest challenge, because he has that quality in him like Crawford. And you've seen it in fights. You know what I'm saying? You've seen it in fights. The biggest difference there is just the style. So I think Crawford would win that fight. But I just know he's not just going to hit Virgil Ortiz and Virgil Ortiz be cool with it. No, he's going to fight him. And because he has that same thing that Crawford has. Like, yo, you ain't going to sit here, man. You hit me once, I'm hitting you 10 times. And we're going to fight, and you're just not going to outwill me. And that's why I think it makes for a real good fight. But then again, Virgil Ortiz, come forward fighter, and Crawford just going to, outbox him, exploit him, expose him, and counterpunch him. It'll be death by left hand and right hook. But at the same time, hey, I would expect Virgil Ortiz to have some success too. It'll be a good fight. But that being said, let me tell you something. For a guy like Crawford, look, he's never been knocked down, right? No matter what happened with Mean Machine, we just go ahead and say Crawford's never been knocked down. He wins his fights on wide margins, knocks people out. But I'm gonna tell you, there's a reason why Crawford, especially going into Earl Spence, although there were a lot of fans saying they felt that Spence would walk through him, when you listen to the active and retired boxers and the boxing analysts, they were giving Crawford a slight edge. They say, hey, this fight's 50-50, but we're giving an edge to Crawford. And we saw why. But that being said, it's not only the people in Omaha who are out here saying there's something about Terence Crawford. The whole world's saying it right now. And just like I feel there was an uptick in his intensity in his training camp for Earl Spence, I think that uptick in intensity is something that he's trying to maintain now that he's made it to the promised land. And I'm going to tell you, everything he's doing, more swimming, more running, the Victor Conte recovery, and just putting in that work. I don't think he's going to be like Andy Ruiz and just fall off. I don't see it happening. I think he's still going to be sharp. His conditioning is going to be on point. His timing is going to be on point. And I just think with whoever he gets in the ring with, I just think when you look at the fight and whenever it ends and you go to the CompuBox scoring system, you're going to see that he's probably going to be landing in that damn, between that 45 to 60% success rate, which is, unusually high, but I think that's going to be the norm for him, because when Crawford decides to let his hands go, it's normally downhill for his opponents. But that being said, Crawford is thinking about his future, coming off a career best performance, and he is now, I think everyone agrees, one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. And, I'm not sure what he's going to do about trying to become 3-time undisputed or keep chasing titles in other weight divisions. But one thing's for sure, he has proven to be a true undisputed champion. Everything he went from as a young man, getting shot in the head, having a crazy mother, getting into boxing as an amateur, traveling all over, having attitude problems, chip on his shoulder, becoming a pro, and just working through everything that we discussed already, being on top rank to where he is now. I just feel he's a true undisputed champion. And he can relate, I think, to a lot of people from young and old who've had to walk a kind of not so fun path to just find a way to win in life. And I think Terence Crawford really has a huge upside outside of boxing, traveling and being a motivational speaker, because this man has kind of, when it comes to emotional struggles as a kid, physical struggles as a kid, the spiritual struggles and psychological struggles, he was able to kind of push through all of that and still come out on top, and has from what my understanding, a very sound family life at home with his wife and his children. And I just think overall, when we really forget, just setting a lot of things aside, we focus on this man and who he is as a human. No doubt, man, Terence Crawford is a true undisputed champion. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. I'm in the breeze.